You asked.
If you could be a creature from any NES Super Mario game, what would you become and why? What would you do with your powers or lack thereof?
I would be Lakitu because I could fly and throw spinies. And that's what I would do. I would fly around and throw spinies.
Is there an NES game you want to add to your collection, like right now?
The Legend of Zelda prototype cartridge. It sold fairly recently for, I think, over $50,000 or something like that. That would be cool to have.
In your personal opinion, do you think that if the NES had been as fully featured as the Famicom, microphone, disk system, modem, etc., it could have succeeded in the US? Or would it have been perhaps too much too fast?
That's a great question, Dave. Personally, I think Nintendo of America was wise in marketing the NES the way they did, making it seem more like a toy and not like a video game because of the video game crash and public perception and all that. I think it could have succeeded if it had the Famicom features. I don't think it would have succeeded as much. So if it were fully featured, I think it would have succeeded. Probably wouldn't have taken off the same way. If you put voice versus Rob, if you put the disc system versus the Zapper gun, the Americanized version sells more.
What's the most overrated NES game and why?
In my opinion, it's Bubble Bobble. Even if it's a good game, there's no way it's as good as people think it is. It's really strange to me how many people say that's their favorite game. To them, I would ask, how many other NES games have you played? Seriously. That's just, I don't really understand that one. But
Which moment of your NES gaming experience made you laugh the hardest?
there's an ending sequence in Star Tropics. You have to play through the whole game and invest a lot of hours to appreciate it. But throughout the whole game, there's this reference they keep making to the protagonist, Mike. They keep saying, "Do you have bananas in your ears?" Because he doesn't listen or says crazy things. And then in the ending, he pulls a banana out of his ear. And the payoff is huge and hilarious if you've played through the whole game. But that's it for me.
What do you think of the current homebrew scene on the NES?
I love the NES homebrew scene. I wish there was more of it. And it's a sad state of affairs that the 6502 assembly language is a lost art that kind of intimidates people. So those are my thoughts. I love it, but I wish there was more of it. There's some great games being made. I hope it continues for years to come, that scene, the homebrew scene.
Favorite NES beat 'em up?
River City Ransom. Or Double Dragon 2. I really like Double Dragon 2. Then again, Mighty Final Fight's pretty good. It deserves some credit. I'll go with Double Dragon 2. River City Ransom.
If no one is in the room watching you play NES, do you nod smugly to yourself when defeating a tough boss or level? Or how do you celebrate each time to beat a game or break a record? Dance to CNC Music Factory?
Well, despite their song that tells everybody to dance now, I'd say that the smug nod is much more likely.
1. What's your favorite Chapter 5 party in Dragon Warrior 4? 2. Is there any post-NES game you'd liked to see an NES version of?
I'm going to go with Hero, Ragnar, Elena, and Mina. And this might seem like an odd choice for your second question, but Twisted Metal. It's a series I always liked, the PlayStation games. I'd love to see how they would do that on the NES. Maybe like an overhead driving game, but with weapons. Like RC Pro-Am, but a lot better. And yeah.
Of all the NES games that you have come across, which one was the most gratifying game to beat and why?
I had to use the game Genie, but the most gratifying to beat was The Adventures of Bayou Billy. Just because it's so hard. And because you've got that classic, though cliched storyline where you get the girl in the end, and you beat the big bad guy, and you ride off into the sunset. So that's fun. And that's it. Thanks for watching.